Russell Wilson, what's the latest there, and what do you think the Broncos' plan is for him and at quarterback?
Yeah, I mean, I would say the plan is, everything I've heard has been to move on without him. We'll see when that official decision comes, but that's the direction it's going. I don't think that would be a surprise. Now, they've kept open the possibility of keeping him, but everything I've heard has been, probably move on. So if that's the case, they get crushed on the cap. They will probably not be able to spend a lot for a quarterback. So they have Jared Stidham, who they like. They also have some other high-priced guys. We'll see what they do with them there. But, if you have Stidham and you're looking for some competition, you're probably looking more in the realm of like Jacoby Brissett, Sam Darnold, those kind of guys. So I would say that's probably what they're looking at. And look, if Jared Stidham is good enough to be a starting quarterback, they are going to be fine this year. That's a great place to be. They just, he just will have to prove it.
And then are they in the market for a rookie as well with 12th overall, or you're not getting that sense?
Well, are they in the market for it? Yes. I just don't know where, because let's say quarterbacks go 1, 2, 3, and let's say JJ McCarthy's a top 10 pick, which tell you what, leaving the combine, I think he is. Like I didn't think so going in, but leaving the combine, I think he is, which is awesome and makes it very tough for teams like the Broncos to say, we'll just stick at 12 and pick one because, is it Penix? I don't know right now if 12 is high or not. But I don't know who would be if they just stick and take one. Now, the Broncos have showed a willingness to trade up in the past. Traded up for Marcus Davenport, for instance, a couple of years ago when Peyton was with the Saints. So he has traded up before. But to get a quarterback, maybe you have to.
And your guess, if quarterbacks go 1, 2, 3, New England takes the third? Or what? What's the likelihood there?
I don't know the answer to that question.
Yes.
Elliot Wolf is the new de facto GM there.
Yes.
And obviously he's got a track record, and I think he's extremely good, and I think he will be extremely good. But he's always worked for someone. So it's tough for me to know what was his and what were other people's. So I can't look and say, well, obviously the Patriots will. I think they are open. I think teams will try to trade up. But if you're the Patriots, the only question that actually matters, you can forget about the draft haul. Who cares? It's going to be a lot. If they trade out from 3, it's going to be a lot. The only thing that matters is, did they just trade away the chance to take a franchise quarterback? And if they believe that they are going to get a franchise quarterback at 3, I think they don't trade. If they believe that the package is so much that they're willing to give up on the chance of someone being a franchise quarterback, that's a different story. So that's what the decision is. It's like, where do they stand in their quarterback evaluations? And, and then the other thing is like, are they just a team that, they just have more needs? Like quarterback is they just have so many needs. They have to get going and figure out the quarterback later. There's a lot going on in New England as far as kind of rebuilding this thing, and I'm not sure which way they're going to go.
Exactly. I mean, the Giants too, right? I mean, that's something I heard at the Combine is that they are 1,000,000% in the quarterback drafting market this year.
I mean, I would expect them at least to do all the quarterback homework. They met with all the quarterbacks at the Combine. They did the official meetings. And, I'm sure it'll create a thing. It always creates a thing. But this is their job. Right? I mean, if you're Joe Shane, the general manager of the Giants, this is your job, to evaluate everything, to evaluate the quarterbacks, to see what's behind door number 2. No one has ever been hurt by over-evaluating, ever. And so if the worst thing that comes out of it is a couple of headlines, like, okay, but they have to look into it. They should look into it. And I think that will probably come as well.
All right. So then by the end of April, then what's more likely? Saquon still on the Giants or a rookie quarterback is? Ian.
Well, we're going to find out on Saquon. Well, I think Well, first of all, we're going to find out on Saquon soon. Franchise tag window is closing.
Yes.
4:00 tomorrow. They have said they are open to tagging him. If that's the case, then you keep a really good player for a little more than $12 million and hopefully get a long-term deal. If that is not the case, he goes to free agency. And, if you decide to let your own guy go in free agency, I'm not saying they can't get him back because they could, but it rarely happens. Like, rarely does a guy go into free agency and comes back. Like, usually if he goes, he goes. So I think if they want to keep him, tag is certainly a way to keep him. Is it more than you'd like to pay? Probably, but sometimes it's not that bad of an option. We'll see what they end up doing, by tomorrow at 4.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.